uke. I guess it's a boy with a ukulele is who we went to go see.
Boy with a ukulele.
Yeah. Well, it's a uke.
A
Can't
uke.
say the whole ukulele or the name's wrong. There might be a different boy with a ukulele.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, all right, all right. Tonight's episode, for music lovers only, fantasy smokeout, will have to be aired at a later time because the cameraman forgot to open a window. Imagine being a fly on that wall.
Ooh.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Smack.
Good evening, music lovers. How are we doing today?
All right. How are you doing?
Doing awesome, fantabulous, fabulous. This is For Music Lovers Only, and on this glorious holiday, we're going to talk about none other than 420 songs.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to spring it on you guys. Sorry to spring it on
I didn't even know, but that'll be an easy one for me, so I should be able to come up with a top 5 list.
I mean, there are a lot. There are a lot of songs, you know. I mean, I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Forgot about that one. Dang.
Yeah, I remember saying last week that I knew like 3, and then I pulled them up and I was like, oh, okay, so every song's a 420 song then.
Yeah. Basically. Anymore. It's certainly weird. Like I said, I mean, we're all about the same age, and so you know, when we were coming of age and discovering this for the first time, it's crazy to think how nowadays, you know, I mean, they don't have to do the things we had to do. How many pop cans and bottles did you turn into apparatuses of paraphernalia? So,
none ever.
None ever.
I've heard stories.
I'm sure you've seen it.
His mom is watching. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
I don't know, man. Lately I've heard it's not as cool for the kids, you know. It's because it's so, especially maybe not here, but in the places where it is actually readily available. I mean, everywhere it is, but where it's legally readily available, it's not as cool now.
Yeah,
you know, so
they got other things, like they got the
thing you don't need it. You don't need it.
Or they got electronical things now that
or something. They just get they don't even, it's like, man, like, just chill out, man. All that shit, man, and all that Adderall and all that focus shit. Just
well, all right, we do got a new segment we're gonna try out today. How about them apples? You ready for that?
Oh, we're doing that first.
You want to do that first, or you were not prepared?
We can. I'm not going to be prepared this whole time, so we might as well get it done then.
Might as well get it done. All right,
makes sense.
All right.
Get to know your music lovers.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gonna get to know our music lovers, and so along the same, like I said, I looked up questions, just a big list of 200, and they were all like really plain, you know, like, you know, what was your favorite toy growing up, stuff like that, you know. I mean, just really plain. And then it got to the section about sex life, and I was blushing. I was blushing. I was like, holy, I mean, like, this is a get to know you. So I'm kind of thinking about, you know, like first meeting someone and asking someone these questions, and I'm like, what? You know, even a first date, I'd be like, what? I mean, let's get this out of the way really quick. But I don't know where the author of that list, you know, I mean, I don't know, but he went dark. They went dark. I assume, but from the questions, it was probably a he, but who knows? So I did not find any questions on that. So we're going to go back to what I was talking about earlier, is what the differences. What do you think the differences are between the 90s when we were coming up and how the culture of 420 and everything came along, has changed to today. And like I said, I mean, they're not going to know the struggles. My answer is they're not going to know the struggles.
I was gonna say, it's just commercialized now. I mean, it's funny because, you know, we went to Popeyes today for a sandwich, you know, and they're doing the chicken sandwiches for $4.20 a piece.
Yeah.
You know, and it just they didn't do it because it's a random date. They did it because, you know,
because of the holiday.
Yeah.
That movies like Half Baked and Friday and even Dazed and Confused, you know, which glorified it. So that all started the process, but we were there. We were right there at ground floor. I mean, you got caught with anything, you were in trouble, period. And, you know, now it's different. Some states are completely legal. And, you know, here in Wichita, we're decriminalized, you know, as long as you ain't, you know, driving around smoking it, then, you know,
you
should be fine.
Yeah. You should be okay. But you should be, but don't. For the lawyers. But like
the show, the producer just whispered in my ear, no.
Okay, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that then.
Was that Snoop?
Disclaimer. We're idiots. We're all idiots. Well, at least the guy in the Indians hat.
Don't do it.
Okay, so Sontia, what was your answer then?
Just the variety, the strains.
Yeah. They didn't have names back then.
Yeah. So no, they didn't. And you had to, it was a process. Like you had to pick out your seeds. And if you had, getting a grinder was like a step up, like, oh, I got a grinder. Like, oh man, get it. Get the grinder. This is terrible. And we really thought that we were doing something, but now it's so much more cerebral. It seems way more psychedelic than it was in the 90s back in the day. It still had an effect and it was still strong, but this is more like a trip than it is a high for me. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I don't know, man.
It seems like it would be a problem with psychosis, especially people with mental illnesses. Not saying anything against it, but I mean, use your brain, man.
Party at the Moon Tower, man.
It's reefer madness.
Well, I've heard different things. I've heard if, you know, it's the right stuff for a person, it can help with that stuff too. It can help with episodes and that can, you know, but it has a different effect on different people, just like everything does. I mean, it's amazing what certain stuff does to some people and does to others. So for me, it would be just the different varieties and stuff I've heard of.
Find what works
just,
for
you know, all the different ways you can receive it, you know, and or edible or, you know, just whatever. I mean, they got 4 billion ways you can do it now from what I've heard, you know.
You can just drink it.
Yeah, or whatever, dude. Yeah, eat chips or whatever. I mean,
all right. Good answers. Who wants to coach Sontia? Who wants to ask their question to get to know the music lovers? I won't play the slide again. I want to know what you thought of the slide. I worked really hard on that.
It was nice.
Let's see it again. Let's look at it.
Get to know your music lovers.
Boom.
Ooh.
If you could travel back to one good time in your life, when would it be?
One good time.
Yes.
Just yesterday. When I went to see AJR.
I mean, it could be as simple as that, you know, if that, you know, you had one time, and I don't know if I was hard to specify. I was going to say whether it was a day or a week, you know, I don't know. You want to go this isn't necessarily a restart from then. This is a go revisit that time and either just relive it, you know, just some time that was just that good. You just like to completely get to relive it, I guess.
Kind of like in Scrooge, just go back and watch it.
Yeah.
This
was the good, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So what's yours, Coach?
Mine was honestly just probably I had a bunch of different ones, and this was my question, and I know it was actually I kind of rewrote it right before the show, but it probably would have been, probably like my 7th grade summer. Just like everything that happened that summer was awesome, like just girl wise and friend wise. And, you know, I don't know I guess if it was one event, it would be freaking Ozfest in like 96. because there was like every freaking band that I loved at the time, you know, Eminem and freaking Korn and freaking Limp Bizkit and a bunch of people who were all there, you know. So
That's
it was
crazy.
maybe it was like 98, but there was a ton of people there and it was freaking badass. So if it was one summer, it would have been then. If it was an extended period, if it was one time, it would have been that concert.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Mine would probably be just the youth. Anytime before I got so jaded that you know, I mean, before I started seeing the, you know, life how it is instead of how I want it to be, I guess. But you know, before I put the glasses on, anytime before then was great, you know, really. Now it's just like, this is it. But you know,
we can go back to the Arc City days.
not so much the Arc City days, because that was a little before the fun really started, you know. So let me get to the fun parts, you know. Where, the girls are involved, you know. That was fun. I'm thinking of that, but trying not to be a creepy perv. But the first experiences, you know, I want to go back and rewatch every first experience, like first kiss with, you know, and then first everything else. Yeah, that's
first,
it. I'm not talking.
First basketball shot made, first home run, first, you know,
first base, second base,
first live. Yeah, I know, I knew where you're going, but first live concert, you know, I had some cool ones, you know, like winning state wrestling when I was like in 5th grade would freaking be awesome to go do, but I also hurt today because of that stuff. So, what's your Sontia?
Well, if I really think about it, there was a period of time between 22. Let me see. So my oldest is 19, 20, 21. So at 22 and 24, for those 3 years, like I was, and it's kind of the same as what Josh was saying. It was before things got so jaded and weird and crazy, and things were so heavy. It was just one of those things to where, like, I had friends that would just show up at my house whenever, and it was cool because there wasn't, I might be there, I might not be there, you know, but if I'm there, then we just get to hang out. Or like somebody would call and be like, hey, you want to go to Kansas City? It's like, yeah. And then we just go. Like, that period of time was just so carefree and wonderful.
It's so funny because I thought when my kids graduated and kind of moved on, and even though I know my son still lives here, I kind of thought our lives would go back to that once we were back to not doing the sports. Like, oh man, friends and family and all that. Because no, it's less. It's, you know,
tired now. It's like, oh, I just want a nap.
Yeah,
with that. Yeah.
I'm tired. I try to take my kids along I just do spontaneous things with my kids. That's one of the things with the whole mental healing thing. It's like, you don't have to not do that anymore. Like, you don't have to not do that anymore. Just one day wake up and go fishing. Like, there's no reason why, if there's any reason why being an adult is the greatest thing, is that you can do that.
Yeah.
And
I wish it was better. Like, was always something to do, always something I got to do, you know, always some sort of schedule. I'm a Virgo too. And so I do a schedule like crazy, and
it's hard to work it in, but along the lines of I said, it's just the friends have changed. My kid's my best friend, so I like dragging her along. And she's getting to the age now where it's getting a little tougher, where she don't want to do all of dad's boring things. But you know, I'm holding on to it for as long as I can.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
they like go away and then they circle back around.
Yeah.
So my oldest son is like at my house all the time, and I'm like, man, so we were doing all of that. When you were growing, he's just honest and hanging out and bring me records and stuff, and so that's nice. That's my buddy.
That's awesome.
All
right.
Yep. Let's Sontia, let's get your question.
Oh yeah, she got a question.
Yeah, let me pull out my question here. All right, so I was talking about my spirit animal wolf. When I was going to Kansas City, I saw what I thought was a wolf on the side of the highway, and seen like a couple of white doves, and you know, the universe is like, you're gonna be all right, and I'm like, you're lying. So my question is where? My question is, if you personally were a spirit animal, when you came into people's lives, what magic would you bring? Because like doves are supposed to be peace, and wolves are supposed to be strength, and bears are supposed to be courage, and all of those different things. And so what I thought is I would bring positivity, and then I would also bring a message that there's going to be some bullshit, but you're going to be okay.
I'm going to bring the jokes and the 420.
Happiness then.
Yeah.
I'd probably say I'd bring like similar to courage or confidence, because I'm a pretty confident person. I don't always instill it, but when I try something or when I do something, I go all in. So maybe even, just like, that work ethic or whatever it is, drive or motivation kind of. So
yeah.
That's cool.
That was a fun little segment. I like that. That was fun.
Your question was better because it was quicker. I'll come up with one less thought provoking or deep diving next time.
Like you said, I mean,
yours was thought provoking. I don't mean it like that. Mine was memory retaining, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, like I think Coach and I talked about it, but I mean, we get away from the 30-minute. I mean, we can go a little longer. I mean, as long as we ain't got nothing going on.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't want to stretch it all the way up to an hour because hey, we do got stuff going on, but
yeah.
We didn't have enough time to where we could just sit and shoot the shit about stuff that's not just music.
Well, we'll try to start getting that down to 10 minutes or so, this first part. And then, then we go from there, have 30 minutes or so for our portion.
Yeah.
I do. Before we get into our list, we are going to get to our list, I promise. But we got In This Day in Music, April 20th. The very first one is 1971, the birth of 420. And I've heard lots of legends, so I don't know, what's necessarily true. But this specific website said 5 friends in San Rafael High School in California coined the term 420 as a euphemism for smoking pot. April 20th became the popular day to spark up, as does 420 p.m. Fans of the Grateful Dead helped spread it. Boston song Smokin clocks in at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So there's a lot of hidden, meanings that people have related. Bob Dylan had Rainy Day, Women 12 and 35. And if you add them together, I guess you get 420. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. But so that's the origins of it, according to this one. 1987, Two Live Crew. A record store in Callaway, Florida was forced to close down, and a part-time clerk was arrested after selling a copy of Two Live Crew Is What We Are, is the name of the album. And they sold it to a 14-year-old boy, and officials deemed the record obscene because of its pornographic lyrics. And they got, banned in the USA. 2002, Dave Grohl was in a dispute with Courtney Love, Dave Grohl, and Chris Novoselic about the rights of the music. And they stated that Courtney Love was irrational and too high when she made the deal.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The contract was invalid because she was too high. So I don't know. 2020, last one here. Stuck at home on lockdown. Willie Nelson staged a Come and Toke It live stream in reference to our wonderful holiday, the unofficial weed holiday, and support efforts to legalize.
Today is,
huh? And the sports efforts to legalize and free those incarcerated for it. Guests included Ziggy Marley, Casey Musgraves, and Billy Ray Cyrus and Toby Keith, the late Toby Keith. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. All right, so now is that spinner hot and ready?
Hot and ready pizza.
Hot and ready.
I don't have the new one ready yet. It's over here in production. I can't show you yet, but
right. Cool.
It's
a lot cooler if you did, though.
All right. See if we can get this thing ready.
Yay!
Boom.
Oh, it was so fun.
Boom.
Working on some stuff.
Yeah. Get a little pizzazz.
You're like, look at this.
Get a little pizzazz. Like I said, there was a lot of songs, and a lot of songs I loved. And I mean, a lot of obvious ones like in the 90s when it became mainstream. So We're not going to list all the ones that aren't on my list because nobody else has went yet. But SHEL Steve Silverstein, which is probably known for Where the Sidewalk Ends, as probably most notable. But he had a song back in the 70s. Freakers at the Freakers Ball was the album. And I got stoned and I missed it.
Is his name? Never
SHEL
mind.
Silverstein.
I got confused. I'm not even going to say how confused I was.
I think I'm saying it right.
No, you're right. You're right. I was going to call him Jack Johnson, but that's a totally different person.
Yeah, he's on my list. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I heard your thoughts.
Yeah, we're telepathically. Number 4, Charlie Daniels, long-haired country boy. And the first line, because I get stoned in the morning, get drunk in the afternoon. And that's always been a good one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And get country on here because we don't get enough country. We're going to have to do a country one eventually. And I bet you that'll be the most watched one because we're all rednecks at heart.
No.
Number 3, Jimmy's Chicken Shack, and their most notable song. I won't say their most notable song because I'm going first, but Another Day is the song that I chose off of I can't remember the name of the album, but it has them like pouring feathers out of a bag, which resembles, and it says 420 on the cover, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That made us a connection. Number 2, EVERLAST, Drinkin and Smokin. Great song, and don't need a reason to get EVERLAST on because I've always liked Whitey Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, another country song, Eric Church, Livin' Part of Life. And I've always loved this song from the moment I heard it, and I've been listening to it a lot lately just because, this point of the song is getting to the living part of life, getting through the muck, the crud, and living life.
Ooh, you got close. I was like, okay.
Pucker moments.
Good list. I don't know 2 of them on there, so they'll be new to me.
Yeah.
So. All right. Are we ready for round 2?
Yes.
Oh, Josh can't go again.
I probably could, but no.
God dang it. It wants Josh. His list is so. There we go. Sontia.
Yay!
Bam.
Thank you. Love you so much. I love you all.
Our live audience.
We needed a lot. It would be so cool to do like one show in front of a live audience. That'd be real cool. I don't know how. I mean, it seems like we just do it in somebody's living room or something. Like,
well, I'd love to be able to
people.
Like play the songs like a radio. I wish we could get on, like, picked up by a radio station, and then we could sit here and play the songs and talk about them, and then just sit here for 4 hours.
Certain places we could stream if we did like some TikTok shows or did some certain places you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Just for like some live show type things. But if you wanted to really record it and release it on a lot of the platforms we use, it's harder.
Yeah.
That's
why we
and you guys need to start sending in that. Yes,
KRPP.
Yeah, we don't make quite enough money to pay for the rights of a lot of the songs we want to use.
No.
Yep. So send it in. Send us your dollars and cents.
Yeah, $1 at a time, man. It adds up. The guy that did The Rock sold him for $1 and he's a millionaire. So just saying, million listeners, $1 million times a couple 100,000. No. All right. Sontia.
Here goes my list. All right. So my first song is going to be, I didn't even put who it's by. It has Snoop Dogg in it, but it's Young and Wild and Free.
Yeah.
With RITA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So we get. So
I think Bruno Mars and Wiz Khalifa, I think. I don't know. I may be talking out my ass.
Yeah,
I know the song.
Yeah, Bruno Mars isn't in that at all.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a fun song from more recently. So I really like that one.
Yeah, it's Snoop and Wiz.
Yeah. And then my next one is going to be AJR, which I just went to their concert yesterday. So I was just like, I tried to find songs that just weren't regular 420 songs that, could be on the list and people could discover them. This particular song is called No Grass Today. And this song is about how, as with me, he cannot smoke and function. Like nothing is going to get done, but you can. And he emphasizes that you can if you enjoy it. That is your thing that you can do. And who am I to stop you? But I can't. And I thought that was...
Gotta know your limits.
Yeah.
Gotta know your limits.
Yes. So I love that. I love that song. The first time I heard it, I was like, I was kind of pissy about it. I was like, why'd you even write that? But then as I realized that it was talking about me personally, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah.
You felt attacked at first, but then you're like, well, but he's not wrong.
The next song is a Nickelback song because, as you know, I love Nickelback.
I love them too.
Now, what was really cool about this Nickelback song? What was really cool about this Nickelback song is I've never heard it before one day in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I was like, this is a Nickelback song, and it's really different than just their regular vibe. It's called High Time, and it's essentially about leaving everything behind, getting in a van, getting away from it all, and smoking the whole time, essentially. And it doesn't even, I mean, you can tell it's them, but it's definitely not their regular vibe, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Huh.
Yeah. So the next one is going to be Rita Marley, One Draw. And it was such a simple song about her just wanting to go get high, and then she found the dealer, and then she got high. That's the whole song.
Is this like the granddaughter of Bob, or
this is Bob's wife, Rita Marley?
Bob's wife?
Yeah, wow. Bob's main wife.
Main wife. Yeah,
regular wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's from the 70s, and it is such a smooth and awesome and wonderful song, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. I had never heard it before, but it's really cool.
Don't think I've heard it before either.
Mm-hmm.
Fun one, good one.
And then the last one is Eric Church, Smoke a Little Smoke.
Yeah, that was the obvious one, but this one, the Living Love Part of Life, that one just really, it's like I said, it's a little bit deeper than just the obvious, yeah, we're gonna smoke a little smoke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, okay, a good list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
2 songs on there I haven't heard too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, mine's definitely different.
Wait, you have to get your thing.
Yeah, hold on.
Yay!
I won't be able to use those in like the little shorts I do, of all of our lists, because trying to cram all 5 songs into a minute is very tough. Because like I said, we usually talk about the reasons for them and and so I can usually only pick one song to where I can talk, give enough dialogue to why we pick it. Because like I said, it's tough. So I'm not going to waste 5 seconds of that minute to add that to the short. So don't expect it. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, anyway. My list was the opposite. Mine was the more obvious. Most of them are, I don't know if they would be on everybody's top 5, but they would be, some of them would be. So my number 5 is Willie Got Me Stoned, Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome, man. Yeah. And I'd heard it a while back, but then just listening to it, and my wife, laughing her ass off, and took all my cash and, walked home, didn't have money for a cab, and just good song. So number 4, Burn Slow, Dirty Heads. Freaking good song. Awesome. Like, just, feel to
one
it.
Of my favorites from them.
Good song. So number 3, How High, Redman and Method Man.
Right. Yeah.
On the list, and just kill it with it, man. And probably one of my favorite Redman and Method Man songs. So
yeah.
Good one.
Number 2, Hits from the Bong. If nobody was going to put one, they actually weren't on. But you got to put. Actually, I had 2 number 2s in case, but I also had a backup. backup song in case somebody else did, which is Dr. Green Thumb, you know, and you could have done every Cypress Hill song, but
Yeah.
day when I partaked, you know, regularly, those were a huge part of what we listened to in my crew, you know.
Allegedly.
And my number one's made the show before, and it will probably make another one, and that's fine because they're topical, and it's my favorite song for this thing. It's Smoke Two Joints Sublime.
Yeah.
Or even the original by the Toys, you know, was, or whatever, however you say it, you know, but was pretty. Oh, it's like a reggae band out of Omaha. It's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's before this, and it's a different vibe, but most of the same words.
Yeah.
Instead of a rock feel, it's a reggae feel. And I'd found it, and you know, when I was looking through songs, and I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm like, so you know, you listen to it, and you're like, okay, I get it now, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I like the Sublime one way better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we still got 31 minutes with that start, so that's not bad. I mean, we can, you know, we can get my honorable mention, your honorable mention. Actually, last week we talked about doing like songs I thought one of you guys might have picked.
Yeah.
So did either one of you guys do any of those?
Not at all.
Well, I figured I picked Smoke Two Joints. I figured that would be yours. I didn't really write it down because I didn't want us, before you popped on, I didn't want us, you know, trying to, you know, alter, like trick, you know, I mean, you know, I wanted our list to be, you know, authentic and less forced, like, you know, not trying to stump the cruise. I didn't want that feel.
No, and so I was kind of the same way when I went. So that's why I didn't even say anything throughout the week about, are we going to do that? Yeah. I just felt it would be fun if I did it. So I only had one, I only had one for Sontia, and it was High All the Time, 50 Cent. I don't know why. You know, that just, you know, stay high all the time. No, you know, that was part of our genre of growing up, one of those songs. So Josh, I had a couple. The number one for you was The Joker, just because I know how important that song, or how big that song is to you, and you know, how that was introduced to you, and you know, that line in there growing up when we were, you know, younger, that was one of our favorite lines and songs. I also had Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die was another one I had of yours, Josh. And I thought maybe you would do, which is, you know, Willie, Snoop, Chris Christopherson, Jamie Johnson. I think they even had some other versions where somebody else did it with them. So
said him and Willie's listed on like the video, but I don't think he sings. But I
think he sings in the beginning.
Well, on the song I was thinking of, My Medicine.
Oh yeah.
He's in the video, and then, you know, Snoop says, my homeboy Whitey Ford. So I don't know if Everlast was really on it. I didn't see Everlast at all, because I mean, everybody calls Everlast Whitey Ford. I mean, that's what everybody calls him now, you know, because of the song. He had a song called Whitey Ford, and that was like his first song that he went from, you know, left House of Pain, and so he started playing acoustic. You know, playing guitar and doing, you know, acoustic rap, essentially, you know. So that was his first song, and a lot of people didn't like it. I mean,
I did have an honorable mention, which was Sweet Leaf, Black Sabbath, which was a freaking awesome one.
That was my honorable mention. I had Kid Cudi, Day and Night. My Cypress Hill was I Want to Get High. I had Kid Rock on there. I'm the Bull God, Sublime, and then Jerry Cantrell, Cut You In.
Okay. So you were prepared.
Yeah.
I had Brewer and Shipley, One Toke Over the Line.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't like that song. And if you don't, then I don't care. We probably aren't friends anyway. No.
I ran into a young lady. Her name is Mila J. And she's one of these new cats. And she's kind of poppy R&B, but she had a song that was called Smoke, Drink, Break Up, and it was about smoking. All we do is smoke, drink, and then break up. And I wanted to put it on my list, but it was too toxic. It was just a little bit too toxic for me, but it's a good ass song. It's a really good song.
Okay. Hell yeah. I'm excited to listen to that one.
Yeah.
Well, and we don't have anything scheduled for next week as far as our topics, so we'll have to sit down and make a. I kind of liked having topics planned, just easier for me at least. I don't know.
Yeah, same. Kind of know what's coming up.
Yeah,
we'll try to come up with a list again, and
we'll bounce it back and forth and get it taken care of. So tonight there's what Diaper Jam, the Mopigs
going on tonight.
Yeah. I would say if you're out and about, definitely hit that. I think that's up here at Bourbon
Street.
Yeah,
on the south side. It's a big building, so it's not crowded, and it's like there was a lot of people there from what I was looking at. I'm too tired and it's cold and I don't want to go out, but that would be one place to just, even if you just drop some diapers off and then go home.
Yeah. Coach, what do you got planned? You relaxing and chilling?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. We thought about doing something. We might go out and eat, and I might go visit. I don't know for sure. I was going to talk to you after this, seeing what you were doing. But other than that, no super plans.
Yeah.
So
before we get off here, tomorrow I'll be in the studio there with Coach. Mm-hmm. We got a friend of yours. You hooked this up, Stevie V. That's what he called himself on the podcast, and I like that a lot better than trying to pronounce.
Vander Hayden.
Huh?
Vander Hayden.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's going to be fun. We're going to talk about our podcast addiction. I caught a little bit of, and I would say I fall into that category too. I mean, here we are.
I was just on a show with him a couple weeks ago. He's been on a couple shows of mine. We usually get a little wild when we're together. We're both either drinking or, partaking, and just we have a good time, man. It's stupid, whatever. Have fun. We talked about wrestling a bunch this week. Freaking Saved by the Bell trivia. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So that'll be fun tomorrow.
I thought I was going to nail it at the Saved by the Bell trivia, and I freaking failed. I'm sorry for stepping on you, Josh. I had to get that out there. If you
didn't do so hot.
No, man. If it was, man, I know my Saved by the Bell too, but some of these questions were just obscure, weird, like which was the celebrity that appeared the most times on Saved by the Bell? And I had a good celebrity, but it wasn't the one. And it's just stuff like that.
I mean, I think my Saved by the Bell trivia fell out years ago. I can't think. I mean, I can't hardly think of anybody's real names.
I still sit like AC Slater, freaking Kelly Kapowski, still my dream girl, freaking. Oh yeah.
I think Showgirls ruined it for me. After Showgirls, it was just like I can't look at it.
I never liked Jessie Spano that much anyway, so that that kind of made me like her for a minute, and then
well, I mean, come on, Tiffany, Kelly Kapowski. I want to see Kelly Kapowski do that. That's what I wanted to see. All right,
you need some loving tonight, bud. It's 420. You need to enjoy. You need to calm down, bud.
It's a spiritual path. It's a path of least resistance, and it's a journey to open-mindedness.
Okay, all right. Well,
party at the Moon Tower. All right, thanks for coming on, talking crazy. Thank you, Jana.
Hey.
We love you, Jana.
We do.
Have a good night. Thank you very much.